Hello everyone, my name is Catherine and you're welcome to this video. And on this video, I will be talking about people that are planning to migrate to the UK and they are pregnant, or you're newlywed and you are contemplating on starting a family or not because of your pregnancy plan. I would like to say that I came in pregnant and I came in 28 weeks pregnant. I'm doing very fine. But before we go on into the video, I would like you to please subscribe to this channel, and also hit on the notification button to get regular update from me. Okay, I came in pregnant. I was 26 weeks pregnant when I got to the UK. When I came in, there were still this COVID-19 guidelines that you have to stay in for 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. So before the whole isolation process, when the whole isolation process was over, I was 28 weeks pregnant already. It was crazy, to be honest. And before I got to the UK, I was really, really worried. I was so worried. Oh my God, I was so worried. I was asking questions, trying to see a video that will really talk about my situation. I have a offer already. I don't know what to do. I don't know, should I tell them, should I not tell them? I just didn't know what to do. It was like, I was really messed up here. Until I spoke with someone who also told me she's pregnant. So I was like, oh, I'm actually pregnant, Catherine. I'm like, are you kidding me? And she was able to allay my fear. So this is me doing the same thing to you, or doing the same thing for you guys. Please do not get so worked up. Do not get so scared. Do not get so worried. Pregnancy is not a disease. I will start by what the law says. And what the law says is that no woman pregnant, having a baby, or you're in childbearing age, should be discriminated against. A pregnant woman or other job candidates, like you are applying for a job and you're pregnant, and other job candidates should be treated the same way. No one should discriminate against people being pregnant. So if there's anybody that is saying that because you are pregnant, you won't be given a job, or they're withdrawing their offers, whatever it is, you can sue them because it is clearly against the law. Okay, so I'll first I'm talking about two categories now. The people that you're already pregnant and you're planning to come to the UK. And the second category is the people that are planning to get pregnant, so they don't know what to do. Should I wait till I get to the UK, or I should get pregnant now? Or you understand what I'm trying to say? So the first group of people now, let's go to the first group of people. You're already pregnant. What the law says is that you have to notify your employer 15 weeks before your due date. So if you are pregnant and you are 20 weeks, you inform your employer 15 weeks. That means like, oh, I'm 20 weeks and your due date is maybe, normally it's 36, 37, 38, some people 40, 42. So you know you have enough time to say inform your employer. But if you are 26 weeks pregnant like me, that means, or 28 weeks already, and you're planning to come, you might not be able to say you are informing your employer before 15th week of due date. But even if it's not possible, you inform your employer before the 15th week you give birth. Whatever week you decide to inform your employer, whether it is 8 weeks or 10 weeks or 10 weeks, it still do not say that you will not get a job. It doesn't qualify you to being fired, or your visa being withdrawn, or you not giving COS. No. If you're still in Nigeria and you're pregnant and you're looking for a job, please continue to look for that job. For as far as you know that yourself, you know yourself that, okay, I don't know whether it might be your first pregnancy, your second pregnancy, your third pregnancy, whatever it is. For as far as you know that you can cope with the job while being pregnant, then apply for the job. Just like I said earlier on, no woman should be discriminated against because she's pregnant. So keep on applying for the job. Now you can ask me, do I need to notify my employer if I'm pregnant already? Like before I even get an offer, like during the interview, you're telling them, oh, I just want to let you know that I am pregnant. If you want to, yes, but for me on the surface side, I will say that you shouldn't. Now, why I'm saying that is because it gives a kind of biased judgment sometimes, especially when you have like 10, 20 candidates, and you know that these people are, you might be, you, all of you might qualify for the job. Now, on a scale of preference, now you might not be the first person they'll be picking or the second person they'll be picking. So it's because, okay, she's pregnant. That shouldn't happen actually. But now let's be honest. You have like 15 candidates that are doing very well. They did very well. You as an employer, who will you pick? You won't want to pick the person that is pregnant. You pick the ones that are single, obviously. Even though the law says don't discriminate against pregnant people, we know. But you will not pick the person that is pregnant. So I would say that please get the offer first. When you get the offer, you can let them know that you're pregnant. That, okay, I am pregnant. Thank you for the offer. Thank you for, I got the job. But I'd like you to know that I am pregnant. I'm so weeks pregnant. Now, if you are very, very close to your delivery date, like, okay, you're like already 28 or 30 weeks pregnant already, they might not want you to come over because, number one, some airways or others, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, they all have some rules about how many weeks pregnant woman must be able to fly. Some of them will ask for medical fitness and all. Now let's leave all those airways voila on one side. Let's go to the employers and say they might not want you to fly at that late period. So they might say, okay, you're pregnant now. Can we shift your resumption to so months? And they want to give you enough time to prepare for you and your baby. Another thing is because they only offer accommodation for, if that's even if they are offering accommodation at all. But if they are offering accommodation, they only offer accommodation to one person, like not a family. An individual can get the accommodation. You can't bring your baby, you can't bring your spouse, you can't bring your sibling to the accommodation. So if you are like 34, 5 weeks pregnant, that means you really need to get an accommodation. You cannot give birth in the hospital accommodation. So it might be really, really stressful for you. And the fact that you're already very heavy. We all know, I know how I felt when I was like 30 weeks pregnant and all of that. But you know, it differs in people. Some people really just feel like shit and they don't even want to move or anything, and so they might just say, let us postpone it to so time to prepare for you and your baby. What I'm trying to emphasize is that it shouldn't be something that will limit you from getting an offer. It also shouldn't even ever happen that your offer will have to be withdrawn or something like that. So don't think about it. Don't get yourself worked up because of that. Now, if you are still in the early stage, it's absolutely fine. You can decide to come here because most times women want to pass their first trimester before they let people know they are pregnant. Just like we are nurses, you know that if you pass the first trimester, all the situations of maybe miscarriages and all of that, the chances are really reduced. So you know that, okay, I'm already in my second trimester now, so it's fine for you if you want to notify them. And you might decide not to notify them. You might decide to get here and let them know, okay, I am 16 weeks pregnant, I am 20 weeks pregnant. You still have enough time. You have like 15 weeks. There's enough time for you to let them know. So like if you're telling them 20 weeks, oh, I'm pregnant already, the law says that you just need to let your employer know 15 weeks before your due date. So there's still enough time. Now, for you that you are already heavy, like you've passed first trimester, you're in your second trimester already, and you're almost entering your third trimester, and you get an offer and you're coming over, it is fine. It is fine. If you come over and you're sure that you'll be able to do the job, you'll be able to pass your OSCE and you're fine, and decide to let them know, okay, I am pregnant now. You might want to ask, what is the need for me? Will I get my maternity pay? Will I get my maternity leave? How will the whole thing be? Now, let me talk about the maternity leave. If you get to UK today and you give birth tomorrow, you're entitled to your maternity leave, but it is with no pay. Understand me? You get in here, you did not give your employer enough time. Like you didn't notify your employer before the 15 weeks, like your 15 weeks due date, just like I explained earlier. You inform your employer and you give birth 4 weeks after or something like that. You can go on your maternity leave, which is always a 1 year leave, but you will not be getting any pay. The usual pay is like 8 months from your employer and 4 months from the government. So if you did not work for up to like 6 months or 26 weeks, and you also did not notify your employer at least 15 weeks before you give birth, then you will not be able to get any maternity pay. And that's like your normal pay that you should get regularly every month. Now, you might be wondering, then how do I survive? If I'm not going to be getting paid, how do I survive now? The law only says that you can take at least 2 weeks after you give birth. So you can actually get back to work like a month or 2 months or 3 months after you give birth. For me, I got back to work 3 months after I gave birth because I was not entitled to any pay. There's something they call this maternity allowance that is being paid by the government. If your employer is not paying you, they'll say statutory maternity pay, SMP, something like that. So your employer will tell you that, okay, you're not entitled to a maternity pay from us. Like during your maternity leave, we are not going to pay you because we didn't get enough time. We're not notified on time of this pregnancy. But you have this paperwork, the way people process the paperwork, to claim a maternity allowance from the government. And most times they will go through the paperwork to know that whether you're entitled to that claim or not. It's not a public fund. But if you're entitled to it, they will pay you. I don't know how much it is because I did not get it. But people said that, the people that were paid said that the pay depends on how many months you worked with your employer before you give birth. Now, the minimum months you should work with your employer before you give birth is 6 months, according to the people that got the pay said. If you work for like 6 months and you're not getting a maternity pay from your employer and you're claiming the maternity allowance pay from the government, they will pay you. But it's according to how many months you've worked with your employer. I hope I'm not confusing anybody. I'm talking about people that are not entitled to any maternity pay because you came in very late. So you're not entitled to maternity pay from your employer. But there's another pay that people can claim, and which is from the government. But you might also not get the money, just like me. I didn't get the money at all because the period you work is not up to 6 months. So that is it. Now, you might also wonder, how do I go about my antenatal, my registering and everything? They're really, really supportive here, to be honest. For me, my trust was really, really supportive. My manager was amazing. They fixed me up with a GP, got me to register myself. I registered, I got a midwife, and my antenatal visit, I was going for it. And what I did was that I saved every penny, because I think I worked like 3-4 months before I gave birth. So you need to make sure that you save every penny. You need to get an accommodation for you and your baby, because the hospital will not be providing you accommodation. So you need to make sure you get accommodation for you and your baby, and you also make sure that you save a lot. And getting baby stuffs and all of that is really quite easy. There's something they call the Facebook market, which really help you to get little things that you need, and it will also help you to save a lot of money. So you really just need to save. And the 3 months that you are using to work, also you make sure that you put your eyes into the clinical practice, because when you're out of clinical practice, you're new in the country and you're out of clinical practice for a long time, the first time you might be coming might be overwhelming. So there's another plan right here that they've provided for new mothers. Like you went away for maternity leave, you can actually decide to come once in a month to just familiarize yourself with the clinical setting. You familiarize yourself with the clinical setting. So by the time you fully resume, it won't be so overwhelming. I'd be like, oh, where do I start from? What is happening? Sometimes you just feel like you've forgotten everything that's called nursing. Like you don't have anything upstairs there. I was in that shoes, so I know how that feels. So that's another plan. And you might begin to think, with a baby, how do I cope? Having a baby, and how do I cope? I already made a video concerning childcare. You can find that video in my channel. Just go about it and see work and childcare. I believe that video will be helpful for you. So that's it about people that are already pregnant. You are pregnant. That is the first aspect I talked about. Now let me talk about people that are newlywed and they don't know, they are contemplating, should I get pregnant now? Should I wait till I get to UK before I get pregnant? I would like to say that please start your family. Having babies, pregnancy is a normal phenomenon of life. You can't pause your life because you want to have a career, because you're trying to migrate. Same people should understand that people also have their own life goals and ambitions. So, except you feel that you might not be able to cope with having a baby and changing environment with coupled with a new job, then it's fine. You can decide to say, okay, let me wait till I get this job, I familiarize with the environment, then I can start a family. But if you believe that you're up to the task, please have your baby and also continue your processing. Get your job, show up for those interviews. Don't try to hold yourself back and say, oh, let us just play safe, because I might not get the job. No, that is actually very wrong. You will get the job. That because you're just newlywed and you're trying to start a family shouldn't be something that should stand against anyone not getting a job. And just like I said earlier on, there is a law clearly written about this. It's clearly stated that nobody should be discriminated against just because they are pregnant or they're in a childbearing age or because of their gender. So you don't need to get yourself worried or try to say, oh, no, let me post my family because I think I might not get a job if I'm pregnant. You can get a job even when you are pregnant. So just continue to apply. If you get here and you find out that you're already pregnant, it is absolutely fine. All you need to do, just like I earlier said, is to notify your employer that, okay, I am pregnant, I'm 14 weeks, 15 weeks, 16 weeks, 20 weeks pregnant, and that's enough notification. So you don't need to get yourself worked up over it. And just like I said, they will get you fixed up with a GP. They let you know what to do. They invite you for a maternity chat. They let you know what you're entitled to and what you're not entitled to. But for some people that are coming in early, like early pregnancy, you're coming in and you're just 8 weeks pregnant, 9 weeks pregnant, you can take your full maternity leave, which is a whole year, and you will be paid. You will be paid for as far as you let your employer know 15 weeks before your due date. What about the stress? I'm newly pregnant. A lot of people used to be scared of oh, the stress might be too much. How will I be pregnant and all of that? I would say that yes, it can actually be stressful. Coupled with the fact that it's a new environment, so it can actually be stressful. But you can also adjust your working hours. You can decide to say you work just 9 hours or 8 hours in a day, so that it's spread across 5 days and you have time to rest. But for me, I did the 12 hours. I'm telling you, I worked when I was 37 weeks. Yeah, I worked when I was 37 weeks. So I'm not going to say that it was easy. I'm not going to say that it was rosy. No, there were days I felt like shit, throwing up. If you feel so heavy, you don't even know where the pain is coming from. But I still showed up at work. I showed up at work and I tried to do my job. So I would say that a lot of people, they've just learned to adapt to situations. I don't think pregnancy is easy. Some people might say it's very easy, or many people will say, oh, it's easy, you carried it well, but it's not like it's easy. It's just about coping with the situation. I coped with it. I believe that you will also be fine. You will cope with it. You will be good. So if you're thinking about coming and you're thinking about, let me hold on, let me do this, let me do that, please just come. Just live your life. Let your husband continue to shoot his shots. And I pray that the shots enters the net. So that's it about that. Why am I doing this video basically? It's just for people out there, pregnant women, pregnant nurses, not to feel worried, get scared, you just don't know what to do. You're contemplating, do I put this thing on pause? Please just keep on doing your best, keep on applying, keep on showing up for those interviews, and I'll say congratulations to you if you're pregnant. And if you're a newlywed, new couples, and I'll also say congratulations to you in advance. And if you have any question, please let me know. I know how this feels. I've been there. I've been there, and it was crazy when you just don't know what to expect. So I want you to be calm, be fine, you'll be fine. If you have any question, if you have whatever question at all, please drop into the comment section. I will be happy to answer you. And also please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and also hit on the notification button just to get regular updates from me. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.